24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve. A man in a business suit boards Northwest Orient Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon. He orders a bourbon and soda, lights a cigarette, acts completely normal. But in his briefcase, he's carrying a bomb. 2 hours later, he'll extort $200,000 from the airline, strap on a parachute, and jump into the freezing darkness at 10,000 feet. He was never seen again. His body was never found. The money was never recovered. And the FBI, after 45 years of investigation, had to close the case. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, the only unsolved case of air piracy in American aviation history. And the question that haunts investigators to this day, did he survive? Let me take you back to 1971. Richard Nixon is president. The Vietnam War is raging, and airline security, it barely exists. No metal detectors, no bag searches, no ID checks. You could literally walk onto a plane with anything. And someone was about to exploit that. November 24th, 1971, 2:50 p.m. A man approaches the Northwest Orient Airlines ticket counter at Portland International Airport. He buys a one-way ticket to Seattle. The name on the ticket? Dan Cooper. Now here's the first mystery. The media would later misreport his name as D.B. Cooper, and that's the name that stuck. But he never called himself D.B., just Dan Cooper. The ticket agent would later describe him as unremarkable, mid-40s, about 6 feet tall, 170 to 180 pounds, dark brown hair, neatly combed, brown eyes. He wore a black business suit, white shirt, black tie, black raincoat. He carried a briefcase and a paper bag. He looked like every other businessman traveling that day. At 2:50 p.m., he boarded the plane, seat 18C, right side rear of the cabin. The flight had 36 passengers, 5 crew members. Nobody paid him any attention. Nobody knew that in exactly 1 hour, everything would change. 3 p.m., Flight 305 takes off from Portland, heading north to Seattle. Flight time, 30 minutes. Shortly after takeoff, flight attendant Florence Schaffner walks down the aisle. The man in 18C hands her a note. Schaffner assumes it's a passenger hitting on her. She doesn't read it. She just smiles and puts it in her pocket. But then, the man leans close and whispers, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Schaffner's blood runs cold. She unfolds the note. The message is clear, direct, and terrifying. "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." Schaffner sits down, tries to stay calm. Cooper opens his briefcase just enough for her to see inside. Red cylinders, wires, a battery. It looks like a bomb. Cooper's voice is calm, polite even. He tells her his demands. 1. $200,000 in cash, $20 bills, used unmarked. 2. 4 parachutes, 2 back parachutes, 2 chest parachutes. 3. A fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the aircraft. And he wants all of this ready when they land in Seattle. Schaffner nods, walks to the cockpit. She hands the note to Captain William Scott. Scott reads it. Contact Seattle Air Traffic Control. Within minutes, the message reaches Northwest Orient's president. Then the FBI. Then the Seattle police. A decision is made immediately. Meet his demands. Save the passengers. At Seattle First National Bank, employees frantically gather $200,000. The serial numbers are recorded. The bills are photographed. But they do it quickly. There's no time to microfilm everything. Meanwhile, the FBI contacts local skydiving schools. 4 parachutes are gathered. 2 main chutes, 2 reserves. Everything Cooper asked for is being prepared. But there's a problem. Flight 305 has only 30 minutes of fuel left. The plane circles Seattle-Tacoma International Airport for over 2 hours while the ransom is prepared. The passengers have no idea what's happening. The crew tells them there's a minor mechanical issue. At 5:24 p.m., Cooper gets confirmation. Everything is ready. The money, the parachutes, the fuel truck. Cooper gives the order. Land the plane. 5:39 p.m. Flight 305 lands in Seattle. The plane taxis to a remote, isolated area of the airport. Cooper's instructions are specific. All window shades down, cabin lights off. No one approaches the plane except one person. A single Northwest Orient employee, Tina Mucklow, approaches with the ransom. 2 bags, one with the money, one with the parachutes. The bags are brought on board. Cooper inspects everything carefully. He opens the money bag, doesn't count it, just looks. He examines the parachutes, chooses 2, leaves 2 behind. Then he makes his next demand. Release all the passengers. All 36 passengers are released. They walk down the stairs, away from the plane. They still don't know what happened. Cooper keeps the flight crew. Captain Scott, First Officer Bill Radizak, Flight Engineer H.E. Anderson, and 1 flight attendant, Tina Mucklow. 4 people, 1 hijacker. Cooper gives his next instructions. Fly to Mexico City. But there are specific conditions. 1. Fly at 10,000 feet, no higher. 2. Keep the landing gear down. 3. Flaps set to 15 degrees. 4. Cabin unpressurized. 5. Speed no faster than 200 knots. The crew realizes immediately what this means. He's going to jump. The plane is refueled. At 7:40 p.m., Flight 305 takes off again. Destination, Mexico City. But Cooper has no intention of getting there. The plane heads south, into the darkness, into a storm. Outside, it's freezing. -7 degrees Celsius, winds at 200 miles per hour, rain, darkness, clouds. Cooper sends the crew to the cockpit, orders them to stay there. He's alone in the cabin now. The Boeing 727 has a unique feature, a rear air stair, a staircase at the back of the plane that can be lowered mid-flight. Cooper knows this. He straps on the parachute, ties the money bag to his body. He's wearing only a business suit, no jumpsuit, no helmet, no goggles. At 8 p.m., somewhere over the Cascade Mountains, the crew feels a sudden change in air pressure. A warning light flashes. The rear air stair has been deployed. Captain Scott radios Cooper on the intercom. No response. At approximately 8:13 p.m., the plane experiences a sudden upward movement. A weight has left the aircraft. D.B. Cooper has jumped into the darkness, into the storm, into legend. He was never seen again. Within hours, the FBI launches one of the largest manhunts in American history. Codename Norjack, Northwest Hijacking. Hundreds of agents, military personnel, search dogs. They comb the suspected jump zone. A massive area, thick forest, rugged terrain. The search lasts weeks. They find nothing. No parachute, no body, no money, no briefcase, not a single trace. The FBI interviews hundreds of suspects. They analyze the note, the fingerprints on the glass Cooper used. the tie he left behind. They create psychological profiles. Who was this man? Military training? The parachute knowledge suggests yes. Aviation experience? Definitely. He knew the 727's capabilities perfectly. Criminal history? Possibly. He was calm under pressure. But the biggest question, could he have survived the jump? Experts say it's unlikely. The conditions were deadly. Freezing temperatures, 200 miles per hour winds, darkness, rain. He jumped at 10,000 feet in a business suit, no proper equipment. The parachute he chose? A training chute, not meant for actual jumps. He was carrying 21 pounds of cash strapped to his body. The FBI's conclusion? He probably died on impact. His body lost in the dense forest, never to be found. But there's no proof. Years pass. The case goes cold. But then, in 1980, something incredible happens. February 10th, 1980. A young boy named Brian Ingram is on a family camping trip along the Columbia River. He's digging in the sand, building a fire pit. His hand hits something. Bundles of rotting $20 bills. 3 packets, $5,800 total. The serial numbers match. It's Cooper's ransom money. But here's the mystery. The money was found 30 miles from the suspected jump zone. How did it get there? Did Cooper land there and bury it? Did the money fall separately and wash downstream? Was Cooper's body nearby? The FBI excavates the entire area. They find no other money, no parachute, no body, no evidence, just those 3 bundles, and more questions. Over the years, the FBI investigates over 1,000 suspects. Richard Floyd McCoy, Dwayne Weber, Kenneth Christensen, Robert Rackstraw. Each one investigated, each one eliminated. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI officially closes the case, unsolved. So what really happened to D.B. Cooper? There are 3 main theories. This is what most experts believe. The conditions were too extreme. The parachute was inadequate. He had no proper gear. He either died from the impact, hypothermia, or injuries in the forest. His body decomposed, was eaten by animals, lost forever in the wilderness. The money found in 1980, it washed there from his landing site or body. This theory explains why he was never found. But it doesn't explain why more money wasn't discovered. Some believe Cooper was a professional, military trained, experienced. He planned everything perfectly, knew the risks, had the skills. He landed safely, buried the parachute, walked away. The money found in 1980, he planted it to throw off investigators. He lived the rest of his life quietly, never told anyone, took the secret to his grave. This theory is romantic, but unlikely. If he survived, why leave $5,800 behind? Maybe Cooper survived the jump, but was badly injured. Hypothermia, broken bones, internal injuries. He tried to walk out of the forest, but died from his injuries. His body lost in the wilderness. The money fell from his body as he struggled, eventually washing into the Columbia River. This explains both the missing body and the found money. So who was D.B. Cooper? After 50-plus years, we still don't know. We have his tie, his fingerprints, his DNA. We have witness descriptions, expert analysis, decades of investigation, but we don't have him. Today, new technology offers hope. DNA analysis, advanced forensics, genetic genealogy. In 2023, Amateur investigators claimed they identified Cooper using new evidence. The FBI hasn't confirmed this. The case remains officially unsolved. D.B. Cooper pulled off the only unsolved case of air piracy in American history. He outsmarted the FBI, disappeared without a trace, and became a legend. Was he a criminal genius or a desperate man who got lucky? Did he survive or die in the darkness? Somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, the answer might still be waiting. Buried in the forest, lost in the mountains, hidden in time. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper? Leave your theory in the comments below. And if you want more unsolved mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button. New cases unlocked every week. I'm Vaulted Cases, and this case remains unlocked.